My mother showed up at my nursing school, graduation claiming she had always been there. Then I overheard what she said to the woman who actually raised me. The worst part of my mother's surprise appearance wasn't that she showed up. It was that everyone at my nursing school graduation dinner knew she hadn't earned a seat at the table. She walked into my aunt's lakeside restaurant wearing a white dress, carrying a bouquet of lilies, and announced, "My girl finally did it," like she had been beside me through every sleepless night. I stood there holding my graduation cap, unable to decide whether I wanted to cry or laugh. My mother had been gone for 6 years. She missed my high school award ceremony, my first day of college, the night I nearly dropped out, and the Christmas when I spent the entire morning pretending I wasn't waiting for her call. The woman who actually knew those moments was my dad's longtime partner, Marissa, who had quietly helped raise me after my parents separated. She didn't call herself my mother. She never tried to replace anyone. She simply showed up. She knew I hated crowded grocery stores, knew I drank peppermint tea when I was stressed, and kept an old photo of me in braces tucked inside her wallet. That evening, though, my biological mother acted like none of that mattered. She told relatives she had always pushed me to succeed, then loudly mentioned the apartment she was supposedly planning to help me rent. One of my cousins nearly choked on her drink because everyone knew I had paid my own tuition by working weekend shifts at a rehabilitation center. When my mother suggested we take a mother-daughter vacation, I smiled awkwardly and said, "We'll see." I hated myself for saying it, but I had spent years learning that honesty around her usually became another argument. Later, I noticed Marissa disappear through the restaurant's side door. A minute afterward, my mother followed her. Something about the way she glanced over her shoulder made me uneasy, so I quietly followed them down the narrow hallway toward the kitchen. I heard my mother's voice before I reached the door. "You've had your little performance," she said. "Now stop pretending you're part of her family." Marissa answered calmly at first. "I'm not pretending anything." My mother laughed bitterly. "You think because you helped her with school and drove her around, you get to call yourself important?" There was a long silence. Then Marissa said, "Do you want to know what important looked like?" Her voice trembled. It looked like sitting in a hospital hallway at 3 in the morning when she was terrified before her appendix surgery. It looked like covering her rent when her financial aid disappeared for one semester. It looked like memorizing the names of every professor she was afraid of, so I could ask how things were going without making her feel pressured. My mother snapped, "She's my daughter." Marissa's voice finally broke. "Then why did I have to teach you what she was studying? Why did I have to remind you that her birthday was coming? Why did she stop checking her phone because she already knew your number wouldn't be there?" My mother started crying, but Marissa continued, "You keep saying you love her because you gave birth to her. I'm not taking that away from you, but love isn't something you prove with biology. It's what you do when nobody is watching." I pushed open the kitchen door. Both women turned toward me. My mother wiped her face immediately and whispered my name, but I barely heard her. I looked at Marissa, the woman who had never once demanded gratitude from me, and suddenly remembered every ordinary thing she had done. The packed lunches, the late night rides, the notes beside my coffee before exams, the way she waited outside the emergency room without asking whether I wanted her there. I walked across the kitchen and hugged her so tightly she started sobbing against my shoulder. Then I whispered, "You were there." She pulled back confused. I smiled through my tears. That's what I needed all along. My mother stood a few feet away, silent for once. And for the first time, I understood that family wasn't always the person who claimed you. It was the person who kept choosing you when they had nothing to gain. Would you have called Marissa your mom too? Would you have called Marissa your mom too?